and makes a hard step toward the basket. If his defender did not respond, he would continue this cut and be shooting a layup. Instead, the cutter uses this threat to hang his defender on the down screen. Perhaps this is a good time to emphasize a change of speeds that all players should use. Rick Majerus says that all players should have 3 different speeds, and a player like John Stockton had 5. Consider that when you come off these screens. Set up your defender with 1 speed and come off the screen with another speed.
Cutter principle number 2.
If the defender plays you honest and blocks your cut to the basket, then once you're both below the screen, plant, change directions, and use the screen. When you get shoulder to shoulder with your screener, you've reached the read spot, the second stage of using the screen.
Cutter principle number 3.
When you reach the read spot, shoulder to shoulder with the screener, you cannot focus only on the ball. Your eyes might be on the ball, but your peripheral vision, along with all of your awareness, must be on your defender and the defender of the screen. It's at the read spot that you will read the defense and choose the proper cut.
4 fundamental types of defenders and the moves to counter them.
Let's stop here and examine the defense, because reading your defender begins with understanding how your defender will try to beat the screen.
How to counter the hugger.
The hugger will hold on to you and try to squeeze between you and the screen. Prevent this by going shoulder to shoulder or shoulder to hip with your screener. Doing so will hang your defender on the screen as planned, and you'll be open in the primary spot. At the read spot, change your speed, cut hard, show target hands, catch and pivot square up on your inside foot, or get square in the air and land on 2 feet. You can also set a trap by letting the hugger win the space and lead you past the screen. Just when the hugger thinks he's won the position, reverse your cut and use the screen in the opposite direction. In this case, the down screen quickly becomes a back screen.
How to counter the puppy dog.
The puppy dog will imitate his namesake and follow you right on your heels. The puppy dog's goal is to first avoid any contact with the screen, and then after he's cleared the screen, try to make up the ground and get to your primary position. At the read spot, when you see him or feel him following right behind you, change speed and curl hard to the basket. Show your target hand toward the goal early to help your passer know to lead you toward the basket. A layup may not be possible, but the curl will still create enough space to get off your jump shot.
How to counter the slider.
Some defenders will attempt to slide over the screen and deny you regardless of which side of the screen you try to cut. Many times their back is to the ball as they concentrate on reading your cuts and avoiding the screen. With this position, your defender can take away 3 of your cuts: the primary spot, the curl, and the basket cut. But the good news is there's a 4th option for you. At the read spot, push off the screen and fade to the corner. And I mean to literally push your own teammate. This will help you change the angle of your cut, and it should inform a smart screener to reposition his angle slightly to hinder your defender's recovery. Raise your target hand as a signal to the passer. If the pass is on target, then you can catch in a hop and fire. If the pass is behind you or over your head, then go after it and drag a foot to shorten the shot. Step up, get square, and read. You should be open to shoot, but a bad pass might give your defender time to recover, and you'll need to read his closeout. Watch the cutter fade from the screen in these examples.
How to counter the switch.
The good thing about the switch is that oftentimes you'll hear it before you see it. If there's a switch, it means that you and your teammate did a good job, and your defender's only chance at stopping you is to get help from his teammate, the defender of the screen. If you hear switch or see the switch, then continue your cut away from the screen. The scoring opportunity has also switched to your screener, who should be rolling to the goal, something we'll dive into at the end of this chapter. Now, same reads, different screens.
Scoring is a cutter, the back screen.
The back screen starts from inside and goes out to the perimeter. The primary scoring opportunity is a layup for the perimeter player, so the screener has his back to the goal. If you're the screener, don't initiate the contact with the cutter's defender. If you do, he can adjust his position ahead of time. Instead, let the cutter bring his defender to your screen. A small V-cut can move your defender just enough to give your back screener a good angle. In this clip, the rear cut is faked, back screen set, and a tight front cut hangs the defender on the screen. And vice versa. If you're denied ball side, then make a rear cut. With a back screen, your primary threat is a layup. Let's look at each of the ways your defender can play the back screen and how you should react.
How to counter the hugger.
If the defender hugs you, then at the read spot, change the rear cut to a front cut. Swim over the hugger and go shoulder to shoulder with your screen. And you have a second option with the hugger. Let him lead you below the screen. Let him think that his strategy has worked. Reverse your cut and the back screen has become a down screen.
How to counter the puppy dog.
If he puppy dogs you and there's no help from his teammate, then you still get the ball for a layup. The puppy dog defense can only be successful on a back screen if the defender of the screener helps until the puppy dog recovers. If that's the case, then the screener will be open to pop out for the shot.
How to counter the slider.
Flare to counter the slider.
How to counter the switch.
If you hear a switch on the back screen, then the screener must shape up to receive the pass.
Scoring is a cutter, the flare screen.
A flare screen is set by a perimeter player on a perimeter player. The screener faces the ball because his back points the way to the cutter's primary spot.
How to counter the hugger.
Set up the hugger with a short V-step and scrape him off by going shoulder to shoulder with your screener. The pass is going to be lobbed over the screen. If possible, catch in a hop facing the goal. If you have to open up to the pass, then pivot square up for the shot or the drive read.
How to counter the puppy dog.
Curl on the puppy dog.
Game examples. Curl the puppy dog. How to counter the slider.
The slider will turn his back to the basket as he tries to slide behind the screen. Your counter is to stop and step back behind the screen for the shot.
How to counter the switch.
Come back to the ball on the switch. Your screener should be slipping to the goal.
Scoring is a cutter, the away screen.
The away screen in this section is shown as a perimeter-to-perimeter screen, but the action could be in the post area as well. The ball is on the other side of the floor from you, and the screen is coming to you in an east-west direction. Your primary scoring spot is here, again where the back of the screener is facing.
How to counter the hugger.
V-cut to the basket to set up your defender and go shoulder to shoulder to eliminate the hugger. Or go a little wide on the screen and let the hugger get through. Change directions, rear cut, and it becomes a back screen and a layup for you.
How to counter the puppy dog.
Again, curl the puppy dog.
How to counter the slider.
Step out to counter the slider.
Game example. how to counter the switch.